Good evening and welcome to the BSC Round 5 live from Nashville Superspeedway. I'm James Parfitt. I'm going to be here guiding you through all the action with Kenton Sportak in the booth with me, and we are joined by Dan Peoples, who will be on production. The circuit itself opened in 2001, it closed in 2011 and then reopened again in 2021, currently holds the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Infinity Series, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and it formerly held the IndyCar Series as well, but it stopped holding that round about the Firestone Indy 200, which was in 2008. We are on the Tri-Oval, 1.333 miles or 2.145 kilometers, 4 turns, 14-degree banking, and a track record race lap of 22.9685, and that was set by Sam Hornish Jr. in his Dallara IR03 2003 in an IndyCar. So there we go. Welcome along, Trevor95. Hello, and Toriman Go Pepto, he says as well. Welcome into the booth. But I think it's time to bring Kenton in, the man with all the knowledge regarding every tracking possible in America. Kenton Sportak. Kenton, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Excited to get underway here at Nashville. Have a nice, fun time in good old Tennessee.
Yes, we are. Sorry, I thought you were still talking before I realised that you stopped. You stopped at me. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, cool. You know,
yes, Nashville. Technically, we're in Lebanon, Tennessee instead of Nashville. But close. We're close.
Where we are, yeah. Last time out in Kota, guys, it was Daniel Michael who took the win with Alex Witt in second and Sean Britt in third. That was an interesting one for us, Kenton, wasn't it? Because we were discussing this. To me, it was like eating peanut butter and Marmite. It was just didn't go together. It didn't work for me. The whole, like, NASCAR's at Kota. It just, I couldn't get it into my head. It didn't look right, did it?
It's definitely very different. I think it was interesting, but I am very happy that we're back turning left.
Yes.
It just looks more natural.
Yeah, it did, and I think that's the thing. It did look more natural. It looks more natural on an oval than it does on anything else. I think it just really, doesn't sit right in my eyes. But we are here at Nashville. Stage 1 will be at 40 laps, and then we will run to the end of the race. The guys have got 4 tyre sets, 50% fuel here. Let's not forget that. We've got 50% fuel, so they are going to have to stop. And we do have basically 100 laps here at Nashville. So we're going to have 100 laps, so we're going to have a straight run from stage 1 at 40 straight the way to the end. So what do we think, right? We get on an oval and we instantly think sometimes disaster. Are we thinking the same thing here at Nashville, or are we sitting back thinking, actually, we might be all right? What do we reckon?
Based on practice, I think we're in for a little bit of some disasters here, but I mean, the biggest thing we're going to have as kind of a difference from some of the other tracks and ovals we've been on, obviously very different from COTA, but in comparison, it's still a Superspeedway, which we dealt with in Michigan and in Daytona, but unlike those two, the track itself is very flattened. I mean, looking at Daytona, you were using, 31-degree banking, and then you had, I believe it's 18 going around in Michigan area. With here, we're looking at only 14-degree banking on the corners here, and 9 degrees at the start-finish line and 6 degrees on the back straight. It's a very flat oval for these guys going around, and obviously they're hitting pretty fast speeds. Obviously, they will not hit the same as our Indy Cup IndyCar fastest lap of 23:27.1, where I believe he was at 206 miles per hour, I think is what I had seen with him. But they're still going to be hitting some pretty quick times going around. I think in the fastest lap for Cup cars was a 29.5, I believe it was, and they were still only hitting 161 miles an hour. So they're not quite getting as fast. I find with these tracks as Daytona and Michigan, just because it is so much flatter, you can't really rely on that banking to kind of help you get around those corners quite as easily as you could with the other ones.
Yeah, we are going into qualifying there, guys, as well. You did see the schedule pop up on the screen. Now, don't forget, we've got no race next week because it's Valentine's Day and the BSC loves everyone. So we're going to have the night off, basically. So if you've got, a wife, a husband or whatever it is, not whatever it is, because obviously it's, anyway, I'll shut up because I'm digging myself a hole. Go and enjoy it, basically. So we come back on the 21st at the Charlotte Oval, and then we go to Sonoma, one of the second of the 3 road circuits we visit. Then we go to North Wilkesboro on March the 7th, Indianapolis on March the 21st, Bristol 28th of March, 4th of April we go to Kansas, 11th we go to the Auto Club, and then we go into the playoffs. We go Talladega, then we go Watkins Glen, the 3rd and final road circuit. Then we go to Las Vegas, and then we go to Homestead. So there you go. Some interesting circuits coming up as well, and I cannot wait for this one, Kenton. I think this is going to be an amazing. So let's just see how it all pans out here at Nashville in Tennessee, and we've got Lydia in chat. Woo! Go Spain Hour. My soft spot for Terry Spainhour, Kenton. I still, got a little soft spot for him, bless him. Does a great job each week.
You have to have a little bit of a soft spot for the Spain Hour.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of a soft spot. You got to love it. Good old Terry there. But we are on qualifying with Daniel Michael, who is currently going round now, sitting in pole position on a 30.1. It's going to be interesting. Now, one of the things I want to ask, are they going full flat or are we on the brakes?
Oh, you definitely are letting up at minimum. I don't think necessarily you'll have to hop on the brakes, barring things happening in front of you or checkups, things like that. You are definitely going to be letting up, though, and just kind of letting the car coast a little bit. Going into the corner, it's about just past halfway through the corner before you really get on the accelerator again, and then you're going to pin it to the floor, basically, to come out. This track, and you can see it a little bit through this kind of windshield here. You can kind of see the lines on that track there, and those are kind of just groove markers, just to give you a little bit of extra grip going up and down the track there. So they do try and help out with that, but it is a little tougher, as you can hear him sliding there. It is a little tougher to kind of keep your low line and keep in a line with a track that's as flat as this is, with the speeds they're hoping to carry. So you do definitely have to lift just to get through safely.
Right, okay, so there we go. We are going to have to lift. So hopefully we should be all good then. And with a bit of luck, we shouldn't have any problems. It's going to be a straight run. I'm feeling positive. Terry Spainhour, okay, back to a track for these cars. Come on, son. You have better lap times than this. So with that said, good luck tonight. And that is, as we discussed last week, Kenton is Terry Spainhour Senior. So there we go. He is full on rooting for his boy, who's currently sitting. Where is Terry? He's currently in 15th place. So hopefully he'll move up through the order, Mr. Spainhour Senior, sir. And your boy will do a stellar job as he normally does every single week. So I'm really looking forward to this. Armand Brousseau, of course, one of the organisers here with Mr. Ross, who is in 7th place. Armand always comes out and says he never does well, he's just in it for the run, but then he normally flies through the race. So it's a tough one, isn't it, with Armand, really, Kevin?
It is, yeah. It's he's definitely one of the few guys that really takes advantage when opportunities get presented. He kind of sort of pops in and out of nowhere sort of thing as he's going and ends up near the front. It's quite impressive, actually. A little entertaining too, because like you said, he never expects to be there, but suddenly he just is. So good on him. That's all you got to do. Is if you show up, that's half the battle there. So, and then another guy coming back. He did miss Coda, but Josh McQuiggan is back and currently sitting in P2, coming out of qualifying right now.
Yeah, he definitely is. Gizu Motorsport. Woohoo! Let's go 94 for Alexander Martin there. I'm my only cheerleader. Oh, Alex, I'll cheer you on if you're feeling lonely. You know what I mean? I'll look after you. Don't you worry about it. Us here in the booth will cover everyone. See, we got people that are just cheering for themselves. As we see, Sean Britt is literally the last man out on track here this evening from this amazing circuit. So there you go. That is qualifying done. We will bring up the grid for you so you can have a look and see who is where there as well. See Daniel Michaels on pole, Josh McGuigan second, Trevor Haley third, Christian Strada fourth, Eddie Baker fifth, Craig Rose sixth, Calvin Ross seventh, Sawyer Gara eighth, Alexander Martin ninth, Noel Hanna 10th, Ryan McLennan 11th, Kevin Coleman is down in 12th place, Brendan McLaughlin 13th, Zachary Lewis 14th, Terry Spainhour down in 15th, Armand Brousseau 16th, Sean Britt 17th, Rob Sizemore 18th, Andrew Onquist is in 19th, Dustin Hicks 20th, Anthony Radel 21st, Zach Scari 22nd, and Gregory Sherman 23rd place. Now, if we can actually get a quick look at the championship standings here, if we can get them up on screen, that would be absolutely amazing. So as you can see, Daniel Michael is leading the way on 148, Josh McGuigan in second on 136, Alex Witt in third on 133, Michael McElroy in fourth on 99, Sean Britt fifth, 97, Christian Strada 93, Noel Hanna 90, Zachary Lewis on 82, Rob Sizemore on 82 as well, Armand Brousseau 79, Terry Spainhour, Andrew Onquist and Anthony Radel all on 67, and then you've got Calvin Ross, Brendan McLaughlin, Zach Scari on 61. Sawyer Gara 58 in 17th, Cody Kern in 18th, Gregory Sherman 19th, Kevin Coleman 20th, Oscar Henson 21st, Mark Freepon 22nd, Chi Kuba, Chi is down in 23rd, Jordan Malcolm 24th, Trevor Haley 25th, Craig Rowe 26th, Stephen Llewellyn 27th, and Ryan McLennan in 28th place. Now we've got 23 cars on track tonight. As you can see, we still do start from the pit lane. And with a bit of luck, it should be absolutely amazing. We will bring up the overlay back up for you here as well. Kenton, who's going to win?
I got to go with my countryman, my fellow countryman in Josh McQuiggan. Mainly because, again, gotta support the Canadian as much as I can. But I mean, it really can kind of come down to anybody. We've seen it happen before. I think race one, we had guys win that were nowhere near the front, and they somehow managed to sneak their ways back up, and things can change very quickly, and with one crash, depending where it is in the field, can alter the entire race.
Yep, I think that is going to be one of them things tonight that's going to be interesting to see. Here we are on our pace lap. We will be going live very, very shortly from round 5 at Nashville here this evening with myself, James Parfitt, Kenton Sportak in the booth. And we've got Dan Peoples on production who will be going on the cameras here. So here we go. They're all lining up 2 by 2. So let's see how we go. We're in the Geico restart site, and he's gone. Daniel Michael has booted already And here for round 5, we are live, ready to go as we head towards stage 1. There was a little bit of a slide from Trevor Haley there, but Daniel Michael, again, as we know previously, is doing an absolutely stellar job and gets away at the start.
Yeah, he has that restart on pretty dialed in. He's quick. He gets that gap and he gets out in front and kind of holds on to that little spacing in between him and P2 there. One of the most kind of underrated things to be able to do is hold that little gap there. And it kind of creates an air bubble between himself and the car behind him. It actually sort of prevents the guy behind from being able to pass very easily, because you kind of have to get through and burst that little air pocket, which is not easy to do. It takes a lot of effort to get through that. So he seems to be able to always keep it and gets out really fast and drives really well for himself.
He does, definitely. I want to have a look, if we can, at Calvin Ross's car. Oh, first caution there. That's Andrew Almquist. Andrew Almquist, we can have a look back at that one right now to see what Andrew Almquist has been up to. Oh, that's Armand Brusso. Brusso crashed as well, but I think it was if we... Ah, there we go. They look like they just locked together there, Kenton, didn't they? And unfortunately for them, it's put them both down the order and possibly into the pit lane already.
Yeah, and that's a little less ideal than what you want this early in the game to have to hop in there. Obviously, this early, no one will be pitting, even with 4 new sets of tires. No one will be coming in, so we'll put them probably down a lap or 2, depending on how much damage is going to need to be repaired. Almquist kind of got, depending on how easy it was for him to get, he unfortunately wasn't able to go right into his pit lane, but he almost seemed to slide right towards it. And again, depending on how much damage they have, if they get that meatball flag, otherwise they might just have fallen back a little bit and have a little more work to do to get back up to the front. But doesn't seem like it was too much damage, and they should be able to continue.
Yeah, definitely on that one. Right, if we can jump onto Calvin Ross's car, please, Mr. Producer, sir. Now, Calvin messaged me the other day, and he said, James, look, and they were talking about it in the Discord. Now, if we can have a look, go to, I think it's Chase Cam on the front of his car. Just out of pure chuckles, I think it's Chase Cam or Rear Chase. Let's go the other way. He has put my face on the front of his car. That is what he's done. So that is my face on the front of Calvin Ross's car. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm expecting him to win now, because that would scare anybody to get them out the way. So he's taken a picture of me and he's whacked it on the front of his car. Well, thanks, Mr. Ross. And I asked him what made that happen. And I won't tell you his response, but let's just put it this way. You can get them from pubs and restaurants and anything like that. So there we go. That's Calvin Ross's design with my face on the front. So I'm expecting him to win now. So if that's not enough to scare anybody, I don't know what is. So
that's fantastic. I like that. It's
Yeah, so there is Sean Brewitt. Car number 98, ready to go. Of course, he was battling away in Kota, third place last time out in Kota, if I'm not mistaken, he was. And Daniel Michael, your championship leader, of course, and the leader of this race, as we got our first caution already here tonight. And I'm hoping it's not going to lead to a precedent on lap 2, because that would have been, hopefully, we go a little bit further. Kenton, I think, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely prefer to not be sitting in oval caution, simulator. It was not as much fun around Dover when we had to sit there and do that. So hopefully we stay under that 5 or 6 probably cautions throughout the race. I really don't want to touch that. I think it was 12 we had in Dover. If we can avoid that, that would be fantastic.
Right, here we go. We're going to go out onto the cars now because we are getting ready to go green. We're into the Geico restart zone, and Daniel Michael once again punches it through, goes out in front. I swear we must practice restarts because he does an absolute stellar job. As you can see, Trevor Haley on the inside there, car number 99, battling away with Josh McGuigan. Of course, that is Kenton's pick. I'm going to go for Calvin Ross, partly because my face is on it. So there we go. That's my philosophy. Azama Brusso is down on the apron there, coming back out and will join the back end of the pack. But at the moment, so far so good. We just had that one caution early on, and hopefully these guys will be able to keep it clean for the majority of this run. All the way up, caution already. Second one. Rob Sizemore there. He gets out of shape, doesn't he?
Gets a little loose, takes it with that. Looked like it was the 20 and the 21. It looks like he kind of got in contact a little bit with. Although...
That's Anthony Radel, isn't it? Anthony Radel is put into the wall.
Yeah, it looks like it's... Yeah, the 21 of Anthony Radel there.
Yeah, on lap 8. So we have got another caution out on track here tonight. So be aware. We are back under a caution again. Seems to be a precedent of the evening. I'm hoping it's not an early precedent. Maybe we can see if we can go back a little bit to that and a little bit further back if we can. If we can click on the yellow flag that's come out on the banner, and then we can have another look back at that incident. That would be amazing. There we go. Oh, he just gets all out of shape at the back, doesn't he, Rob Sizemore? So...
Yeah. And this track, it's you know, it's that lower banking all the way across there. It just makes it a lot tougher to kind of really hold your line. If you don't go in, or if you get a little on the throttle a touch too early, it can cause that kind of problems. So, you know, and with these new Cup cars, if you get a little loose or a little tight and you start kind of getting out of shape, it's hard to reel them back in. It definitely, it takes a lot to try to whip it back in. It's not like the older Cup cars, or you know, even the ARCA cars, things like that, where if you lose it, you can snap your steering wheel quick and sort of catch yourself. It's a lot tougher. Excuse me, a lot tougher to do with these new cars, just with their high downforce aspects to them.
Yeah, and it's I think, to be honest, it's one of the things these guys have got to master, haven't they, to be honest? And you know, I'm sure they will get it going. We will get a little bit of a flow going here, guys, so don't panic too much. I know we're under caution already, second caution. So McLennan in top 10. I see you. He is. He's currently just in 10th place. So there we go. McLennan there as well. And Shannon's in. Let's go Spain Hour. Michael Rawlins. Let's go Calvin. So another man rooting for my boy Calvin Ross, who has inadvertently got my face on the front of his car this evening. So there we go. What more can you ask for? A face with me on the front, winning. Winning, 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 winning. That's what I'm going to ask for, and that's hopefully what we can get here as well. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, you can subscribe, turn on the bells for notifications, and give the video a big old thumbs up, because that would be amazing. And more Spain Hour fans. Let's go Spain Hour. Mum's rooting for you. So Spain Hour's mum's in chat as well. Oh, nice. So Zach Scarlett up 7 places there from where we started. Don't forget, I think what Kenton, to be honest, I'm wondering how I'm going to word this. It's going to be the fact that when we do a road race, that up 7 places, you kind of think he's going really well, right? He's doing a stellar job. But when we come to ovals and we see up 7 places, we worry because of the fact that he could be involved in the next yellow and he's down 12 places. Do you know what I mean? It's such a hit and miss compared to ovals and road tracks, isn't it?
It definitely is a quite a big difference. Yeah, if you're looking at in an F1 race and a guy's popped up 7 spots, you're like, wow, he's having a day. That or he was pushed to the back and should be having that good of a race in as Max did all year. But when it comes to oval racing, it's going up 7 is that's fantastic. It can change so fast. Like one small incident, you just get clipped, you get hooked, get a little loose, find the wall, and you can drop very, very quickly. So it's funny because I always almost find oval is less about necessarily driving really well and more about survivability. The better you are at surviving and avoiding wrecks and incident avoidance, the better off your race is going to go no matter what. So it's just kind of being a little focused on what's going on around you at all times, but also taking advantage of when you can kind of get through. Definitely listening to crew chief or whichever spotter you're using and making sure you're not involved in too many incidents that way.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the things that they have got to look out for as well, because there can be a lot going on and so much happening so quickly. He's off again, Daniel Michael. We're going to go to the front now and pick up the leader. Where's my boy Calvin Ross? He's in 6th, up 1 place. Come on, Calvin, you got my face. Do it for me. Here we go. He's gone again, Daniel Michael. They just can't. They can't judge when he's going to go. He doesn't go at any specific point, does he? He goes at the front, he goes at the back, he goes in the middle, but he knows he goes in the Geico restart zone and he opens up 3 temps already. Yeah,
and it's the biggest thing with being in front, obviously, is they have to react to you, whereas you're just reacting to your choices. You can choose, okay, I'm going to be a little more delayed on this, and in reality, these guys, you're not even allowed to actually pass anyways until you get to the start-finish line as it is. So it makes it even tougher because you can't really jump a restart without getting black flagged. So it's a lot tougher. I find for a lot of these kind of races, so you have to almost sit back, and they can take advantage of that. So it definitely gets a little more interesting. And yeah, if you're quick on the draw and you know how to do it right, you can definitely open up a pretty big gap very quickly.
Yeah, and Daniel Michael seems to be able to do that time and time again. Every single race that we've seen, he gets that jump very well. Now, I'm surprised we have survived this, but there has been 2 incidents that did not trigger a yellow flag. Rob Sizemore has been off track and has jumped straight into the pits. So Rob Sizemore there is into the pits. He did jump in not long after the start, so unless Rob's got a problem, but I did see him in the background spinning, so it does look like he's managed to clear out the way quite quickly there. So there is Rob going across the grass there. I think that's probably going to be... Doesn't look like he's had a good time of it, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't look ideal. I will give them credit for, I mean, they'll try to avoid throwing a yellow flag too often as long as they stay off track. So if you're going off and into the grass, kind of things like that, it tends to be a little more forgiving of throwing a yellow. If you crash and come back up on the track, or you're stuck on the track, things like that, they might throw it a little faster. But with a lot of these, they'll try to avoid it if they can, if you're out of the way of everybody, sort of thing.
Yeah, they kind of don't throw it unless you're sort of in the halfway above the yellow line, which I find is quite an interesting way of doing it here as well. So there we go. Daniel Michael still out in front, Josh McGuigan. These guys have gapped a second over Noel Hanna in 7th place there. Rob Sizemore is into the pits, and so is Alexander Martin, lap 18. So of this 100-lap race here at Nashville Superspeedway. Oh, tag of the wall for Daniel Michael, for Noel Hanna. He's going to be looking at losing a position there to Ryan McClelland, I think, in the 18 car. He has. Can he carry this on, Kenton? That's the problem.
It looks like, he kind of dropped down and sort of got in, took a little bit of a drafting and from the guys behind him. But yeah, he's definitely, you make contact with the wall, you lose so much of your momentum so fast that it can really cause a lot of problems for you. I mean, he's in a good spot in the sense that he has a group, so he shouldn't lose out on too much. Should be able to kind of keep it all going forward.
That's hopefully the plan. To say there is Sizemore, as you can see, Rod Sizemore is in the pits and is down in 23rd place. Alexander Martin, Armor Brusso and Anthony Radel all look like they're a lap down currently. There is a car with not so nice internet currently at the moment. Another tag on the wall there as well. Sean Britt there. Look, it's difficult to follow, isn't it, when a car's doing that?
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder, and obviously if you're any of the drivers around him, it makes it actually even tougher on you because you're sitting there and you want to make a move or get up beside him or things like that, and it makes it tougher because not all the time do you know exactly where they are. So you start to move, and then all of a sudden he'll just appear next to you and kind of causes you to have to second guess your decisions the entire time, which makes it obviously a lot tougher to drive around him.
So we got a second gap now, backing up from Daniel Michael, Josh McGuigan, back to Trevor Haley. We can ride this circuit in 2 rows. That's not an issue. It's a nice, comfortable circuit for these guys to be able to do it. Are we surprised they're not doing it then? Because they seem to be 2 banks of 2, single, well, all over the place really, if you look at that. But what is the uniform way of running this circuit?
It's going to be very similar in a lot of ways to how you do Daytona and Michigan that we've seen already. It's going to be draft heavy. Getting with a partner to be able to make moves, things like that, are going to be very key. It is a little different, compared to those other 2, strictly because it's not such an aggressive banking, so you can still kind of get away with running a different line. You're not necessarily going to lose out on a ton of time, but you will have some problems if you kind of get left to the outside and aren't able to utilize some form of a draft, like we just see Coleman here having to back down behind Britt, even though he was going into the corner, or the first corner just before this, he was ahead of him. And it's just strictly because he lost out on that draft. Noah Hanna goes in. It looks like Britt's going to go around here, but he does meet the wall. That'll bring out that another caution flag here. Noah Hanna manages to kind of get himself back on track without losing out on too much there. He is on the lower end of it. But it looks like as he went down, he kind of collected Sean Britt, which Sean tried to save it and unfortunately just sent himself back across back across the track and into the wall on the top part of the track there.
Maybe we can have a look back at that one very shortly. Here we go. There's Hanna, bounced off the wall.
Noel Hanna definitely, him clipping the wall, he kind of came down on Britt. Wasn't anything Britt could do at that point, and then afterwards, he's just kind of along for the ride in regards to his where his car is going to end up going, which is rather unfortunate. He was running pretty smooth, didn't really seem to be causing any issues other than his little bit of a blinky car going on. If I'm most of these guys, though, I'd be looking at probably maybe going into the pits here. There you go. Yeah, as a bunch of guys are going to. This stage doesn't end until lap 40. We're on lap 26. You'll get a good solid 10 laps if you got fresh tires to kind of hammer out some fast laps with some pretty fresh tires. So I'm not sure if Michael and I think it looked like Haley was staying out as well of the top 5 there, or top 5. So I'm not sure if they have a different idea on what they want to do, but in my end of things, I probably would have wanted to hop in for a set of new tires, at the very least a right side.
Yeah, I think so. I think that should be the theoretic. They do have, obviously, 4 sets plus the one they started on. If they didn't change right at the beginning, they're going to be sitting, with 4 sets of tyres. So I don't see any reason why they wouldn't change, to be fair. But hey, as we know, we're not in a car, are we, mate? We generally don't know what's going on, so we'll just have to see what happened.
Eddie Baker just had a flyer of a pit stop. He ended up looked like about a 42 second, pretty quick. Compared, because he came out actually ahead of McQuiggan, even though McQuiggan was ahead of him going into pit lane there. So fantastic work by his pit crew there. That got him out. A little bit of my favorite flavor of Mountain Dew going on with that Baja Blast, but that was a great pit stop for him there. He'll be happy with that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Eddie Baker. Josh McGuigan now down in 7th, Strada 8th, Ross 9th, McClelland in 10th. Up front, we've got Michael, Haley, Gara, Hicks and Rowe. And then Spainhour's down in 19th, with Sharman down in 20th. As Rob Sizemore and Armin Brusso look like they're out, I believe. I don't think they are. Rod Sizemore, is he? Doesn't look like he's clocking times, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think Alex Martin is out as well, from what I could see there.
Oh no, Sizemore's still running.
Yeah, Sizemore, sure. I thought I saw Sizemore, and I think Brusso, I think I did see him as well.
Oh, it's coming up. So they are running, but they're just a little way back, should we say. 2 laps.
A couple laps down.
And Alexander Martin is out. So
Yeah,
I've just
okay.
heard in my ear. So there we go. Go on, Eddie Baker. Look at you getting a fly-in of a pit stop and join in 6th place. How much time do you have in your car if you're managing to talk to us at the same time in YouTube chat as you're driving? So impressive. You know what I mean? I could do it, mate. I barely could concentrate on driving, let alone talking to driving.
Oh, I don't know how guys do that. Like, I see guys, while you're racing, I know you can keybind certain things in iRacing, but when I see guys actually typing out, like, a message that they send to people in the middle of a race, I'm like, I'm barely able to, like, read my braking points half the time, and these guys are sending messages out at the same time. It's like, woof, nope.
Yeah, I know, I get that. I don't understand that. I used to do a series where a guy would literally type out a sentence, and I'd say to him, how are you doing that? And he'd be like, because I typed one word, like, on a straight or something, like, hi, I'm here, or whatever he was typing. And he types it out bit by bit. So there we go. Safety car lights are out. We are lining up 2 by 2. Can Haley jump on Michael this time? This is going to be the thing. Can he stay with him, do you reckon?
It's hard to say, because, again, he's got to wait for Michael. He can't he can't pass him. His nose has to stay behind Michael's until the start-finish line. So he's got to hope he times it, but not too well, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
It's a really tough restarts, I find, for these guys, because it all comes down to making sure you're still behind when you have to be.
Yeah. Oh yes. All right, here we go, guys. Safety car. There's Barney waving the yellow. Go on, Barney, son. Oh, swaps over to a green. Strongest right arm in iRacing as we're coming up to the Geico restart zone once more with Daniel Michael on top. I wish Barney would put his flag up a little bit. Here we go. He's gone again. And again, he's miles. Well, not miles, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that was... Again. He took off, and it looked like everybody else kind of forgot they were supposed to go.
Yeah.
Haley didn't react at all, and it looked like, I'm trying to see the 85 there, it looked like Dustin Hicks kind of just got stuck and didn't have anywhere else to go either, and they kind of all just slowed up. Although Dustin now has found McQuiggan, as McQuiggan goes flying past everybody and back up into the top 3. And unfortunately for Eddie Baker, he had a great pit stop, but kind of got stuck behind Gara in his Pepto-Bismol car, as he then gets bumped out of line and has to drop back a little bit as well, just to get back into some drafting.
What do we reckon for these then? Are we going to stay in the draft, or do you reckon there's going to be scope for them to move from side to side? Because, generally I would want to sit in here, but you can see some of them running 2 by 2, and the last thing you want to do is get left out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try and hop out, you better hope you've got teammates around you or guys that are willing to get outside and kind of go with you. If you're outside and have no draft there, it can lead to a not very fun time and a very quick tumble down the timing sheet there. So you definitely want to have someone around while you're going, otherwise you're going to get kind of left out there as it that almost ended ugly there.
Yeah, Armand Alquist sticking his decided that there was a gap there, if gap car, as they say, as one of my co-commentators, Dean Biggles, turns around and says, if gap car. There you go, and he definitely took that opportunity there as well. Spain now seems to be going to be, he needs to tuck in here. I'm no expert at NASCAR, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to be out that far without anybody around you, giving you a hand. Brendan McLaughlin, didn't he? He got kind of strung out, Spain out there.
He did a little bit, yeah, and he's kind of tucked in again now with Scare, and it looks like Russo, I think, who was just behind him there.
Oh, this is going to be
three wide is not a spot you really want to be going through there. That was a little dicey.
Yeah, you see the car just heading towards the wall, and all I'm sitting there thinking is, oh, we're going to be on. This is going to be another one. That's going to be another one. But they made it through, so that's good. Oh!
Scare and Almquist have a little bit of a little howdy doody.
Yeah, almost a little oopsie moment there for them. Spain now is trying to make his way back through as well. Kevin Coleman sitting in 11th place at the moment. Chasing down the guy in front is Brandon McLaughlin. They're trying to go. Oh! Whoa!
Sean Britt.
Oh, Kev Coleman. All right, I'm not going to point something out, right? But there was a horrible move in front of them. That was not good. Can we have a look back at the moment that yellow flag was thrown? Because there was a horrible inside block. I need to go back a little bit more. If you can just clip back a few. Yeah, or we could do it that way. There we go. And press play. Watch Hannah's block on Britt.
Yeah, it looks like he comes down just a touch late. It's an unfortunate situation because I know he's trying to block, but he almost is reacting opposed to preemptively blocking. So because of that, he now gets hooked by Sean, or he hooks Sean's bumper, and Sean, trying to obviously correct himself, ends up kicked all the way to the top, and taking. Who was that he ends up Coleman ends up taking Coleman out a little bit there. But I think that's going to be stage end as well. Lap 37. So most guys are going to come in, if not everybody here, and definitely get a new set of tires. It looks like pretty much everybody is in now. But
So the only one's on. So
Quiggin hopped in and out real quick there.
Yeah, it didn't take a lot of fuel on that one. He got the lead, though.
I was going to say that might actually have been in the smart thought process with Daniel Michael having stayed out on that last caution there. Obviously, he has more fuel he's going to have to put in, whereas McQuiggan didn't have to because he had already gotten pretty much topped up and only had about 10 laps burned off. So he needed a lot less fuel and save himself some time and gets himself out front.
Yeah,
with a little bit of a buffer too between him and Michael, as he's got, it looks like about two cars between them.
3. McGuigan is in first, Michael in 4th, so 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my maths is right. And Calvin Ross, my boy, with my face on, is in 5th. Bless him. My face is going to victory lane. I'd like to point that one out. Anybody disagrees with me, it's not happening, but there I am in all my glory. It could have asked for a better photo, to be fair, because that's my profile picture off my website. So, I could have sent him any other pose or anything, with tongue out or something funny, but no, he picks the one off the profile picture. So there we go. What more can you ask for? The commentator's face on the front of your car, hoping that it brings you good luck, rather than commentating cursing this time, I think, and that's the way we don't want that to be happening.
I was gonna say, it's gonna go one of two ways. Either it's gonna be lucky or it's gonna curse his car. We'll have to see how it all ends up.
Exactly. So let's just hope it doesn't work out. Lap 38. Can we expect more?
I think we will. I definitely expect some more cautions. But I mean, you know, you got to take advantage of them when you can. Like Zach Scare here, he's up 15 spots. So he's definitely taking advantage when it helps him out and avoiding those crashes and kind of keeping it going. So he's doing well for himself.
I agree as well. Fourth caution now, so it's not too bad. 4 cautions in here tonight. It's tough, isn't it, really, when we look at it, because some of these drivers, you think, you know, we can constantly come into talk about the fact of where you just turn left, you just put the pedal on, you just turn left, you just put the pedal on. But if it was that easy, everybody would be a pro, and it's not, is it? Is it? You've got to control the slide, you've got to control the acceleration, the inputs, everything, because the NASCAR is not as easy as it's made out to be.
It's definitely not. I mean, with NASCAR, as funny as it is everything has to be smooth. If you start jerking your wheel back and forth trying to correct this or catch that, you're just going to end up, you know, introducing yourself to a wall at a very high speed, and it's not going to do much for your car in terms of the aerodynamics, and you're going to have be much worse off anyways. So you have to be smooth with it. You have to, you know the right times to start accelerating and how to accelerate, as well as they get ready. The lights are off and the pace car is on.
Here we go. Josh McGuigan into the restart zone. He didn't waste no time. Put his foot down and away he went. Off he goes. Pulls away from Christian Sciarlo, Daniel Michael, Eddie Baker.
Yeah, Eddie Baker unfortunately gets bumped, but he manages to kind of not cause any problems, and he ends up in
Pit road.
Yeah, pit road. Yeah, very smoothly, just rejoin, you know, nice and low. Did not work out in his favor. Obviously, he would have preferred to have not gotten that to happen, but he ends up not worse for wear, at least.
Yeah, at least he didn't cause him any dramas, so that's always good. So there we go. Eddie Baker just running round, and Sawyer Gara in the Pepto car number 54 there. Do love a good Pepto, and doing a stellar job all round.
Yeah, I mean, keeping it clean, keeping it smooth, just sort of doing his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Here at Nashville, live round 5 on the JPB YouTube channel with myself, James Parfitt, and Kenton Sportak, and Dan Peoples on production tonight. So there we go. Hopefully we'll be able to keep it clean now. We've got a straight run to the end of the race as well. The graphic on the left will change onto race end as we go 60 car sprint to the end of the race. So we're really looking forward to how these guys get on here as well. There's a gap now back of about a second to Daniel Michael from the front two.
And
could we see a shock?
If they keep it like this, I don't think so. And this is going to all come down to that drafting and things like that with that front three, because how far back Daniel Michael is and Christian Strader, because they're so far back, not really working together. There's such a gap between the two. They're not getting as much of a push between them. And what that's causing is it actually makes it easier on McQuiggan, because he now can manage that gap a lot better himself. And if he's able to sort of use that air bubble behind him, Strader can't catch up. And at the same time, Strader's not getting as much help from Daniel Michael, so it's allowing to kind of help push McQuiggan along even quicker, which is so they need to almost work together to try and get really close to him. Otherwise, he's gonna just be able to kind of manage the gap as best he needs to and sort of keep things going forward, and he'll do okay for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Zatscar in 6th place, up 16 places. Lap 45, 55 to go here from Nashville. And it's interesting to see already. We've got obviously Eddie Baker down 12. You saw him get pushed out there at the bottom and run around the pit lane. He seems to be still going on though, so that's always good. Excuse us why the paints reload themselves. Obviously decided that it didn't like being that colour and wanted to change colours. So there we go. Ryan McClellan behind him as well. Christian Strada now 1.7 back. McGuigan and Michael are close together again though. Only about, well, a tenth between the two.
Yeah, he's definitely got himself back up there, but this is going to be, so it's going to kind of depend on how Strader and Michael work together to be able to really reel in McQuiggan, because so the air bubble kind of thing that I've been talking about is they'll get close on, you know, these corners on the straightaways and stuff like that, but unless he's able to actually break through that, all it's going to really do is actually keep pushing McQuiggan forward. And he will be able to kind of keep him behind him, because as soon as he starts to get close, obviously the air compresses into that space and makes it almost impossible for him to get by. But you can see Strader and Michael working pretty well together, actually, and kind of gotten Michael up beside McQuiggan there, which is going to put McQuiggan at kind of a down or a disadvantage, as now he has no one to kind of help him. Strader's on his inside. But now it looks like they're going to swap out positions, and McQuiggan and Michael kind of choosing who leads for a bit.
I think, to be fair, this rotation of these drivers is, you know, a good thing, isn't it? Because we've got a long way to go, you know, 50 laps coming up to now, sort of within one lap. So the question's got to be, though, can McGuigan stay with Michael? And if we run, how good of a long run car have they got? Because at the end of the day, if they go green flag pit stops, that's going to bring a different dimension to this whole next 50 laps.
It is, yeah, and I mean with green flag pit stops, you definitely need to have someone go with you. If you try and do it solo, you're going to come out and you're just going to lose all time that you possibly could have gained with that pit stop, anyways. So it's going to be pushing. But using that draft, like it almost looks like McQuiggan's kind of backed off, and I don't think it's necessarily because Michael is that much quicker. Like he's done a 29.99 to McQuiggan's 30.05, but in consistent laps, like Michael's a little faster, about just under 3/10 it looked like on that last lap there. But it's how much fuel are you now using? With it having, you know, the track seems to have spread itself out, the field a little bit here. You have less sort of clumped up drivers, so it's less and less caution possibility as they kind of get stretched out. And Daniel Michael's now trying to drive this by himself from the front, whereas now you can see McQuiggan has 3 people. One is a lapped car, but you now have 3 cars drafting off of each other, and you're going to have a lot more speed. You're saving more fuel. You're not killing your tires as much. If they work together, they're going to have an easier time pushing a little bit further than if they were to try and separate. Like if Christian Strader and Josh McQuiggan decide to really kind of push together a little bit here, they're going to have a much better time on a long kind of run here, and possibly green flag pit stops than Daniel Michael will.
Yeah, I'm interested. The thing, normally when we talk every single week, right, when we go onto a NASCAR track, we turn around and say you don't want to be out on your own, you don't want to be out on your own, we don't want to be out on our own. But Daniel Michael's out on his own, and he's opening up gaps and gaps and gaps. We're now 1.6 seconds behind now from McGuigan to Michael, and a further 4 tenths from McGuigan to Strada. So, you know, it's a difficult scenario to be in at the moment, isn't it? And obviously you can see there Rod Sizemore, car number 56, unlapping himself. But what's the difference here, Kenton? Why are we seeing Michael out on his own pulling away, and the rest of the field just can't keep up with him? Is it because what he's running, doing something different? What do we think?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting what's going on, because I mean, in reality, Haley makes contact with the wall, but he manages to keep it pointing forward and out of the grass there, which is good. But I can't tell if McQuiggan has something wrong with his car, because he seems to be really dropping back very quickly. He's definitely not holding on like he was to start that, so I don't know if he's trying to really fight the car a little bit, or if he's just like, you know what, there's a really good chance we go green for a lot longer, so he's tried to back off and he's going to start to push later when guys have started to burn out their tires. I'm not really sure what his tactic is here. I guess we'll have to kind of see how it goes as as the race moves on.
Oh, coming into a 3 wide. That nearly didn't work out. That was Hannah, Almquist, and Rowe. And Hannah, he come out better at that one. Unfortunately for Rowe, he got pushed out on the outside. Almquist got through as well. And Rowe's now down in 16th place. Looks like Spainhour has been dropped off the field and is now struggling. I think he's solo running down in 18th at the moment. I think what I would do is hope that Gregory Sherman can come in and join me, because at the moment Terry Spainhour is dropping down the order. Go number 99, which is Trevor Haley, says Timothy Diamond Production. So welcome in, Timothy. Thank you so much for joining us. Trevor Haley currently down 1 on his start, sitting in 4th place at the moment. So not a bad evening so far. We're on to lap 58 of 100. We have run green now for officially 21 laps. The last yellow was on lap 37. So we'll have to see how they get on here. I think it's going to be an interesting one and see how they cope, really. Sawyer Gar is trying to make his way through as well. He's just gone ahead of Haley. It's a long run, this, isn't it, really, Kenton, in conjunction to what we've seen so far with the first 4 cautions?
Yeah, no, this is definitely quite a long green run that they're having right now, which is, it's going to play into whoever knows how to manage their car. And we're going to have a caution right there. Dustin Hicks kind of gets bumped by, it looked like he was actually bumped first, and then by Almquist, and Almquist kind of spun and then unfortunately just got in contact with him again. So I'll have to check the replay just to make sure. But that's kind of what it looked like there. Oh no, sorry, Dustin Hicks got loose. Yeah, Hicks got loose. And unfortunately sent Almquist around. Unfortunate for Almquist. Once again, once you get hit in these cars, or once you get a little loose, you're kind of along for the ride most of the time.
Absolutely, it's not like you do that. Unfortunately for him.
It's a very beautiful 360, though.
Oh, amazing. I'm sure he was happy about that while at the moment he was hitting the wall, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guarantee you, first thought was, that was a nice 360, I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, along with maybe a few other choice words that we may have needed a beep for, being that there may have been some choice language at that point as well, I would have thought, because, yeah, here we go, the rush of everybody into the pits all the way through 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Spainhour Sharman's in as well. Everybody's in the pits. We're going to have a race on pit row here tonight, as we see them all coming in together. Here we go. Would you take all 4? Would you take front right, just rights?
Let's see. We're looking at about 20 plus laps here. I probably would, and kind of utilize this as best you can to sort of push through to the finish.
Calvin Ross.
It looks like, yeah, Calvin Ross decided to go with only, it looked like he only did one side there.
Yeah, one set. So, there we go. Calvin Ross there. We think only went with 2. We also believe that car number 92, which is Josh McGuigan, also went for 2 on the last one, and he dropped back. So, good move, bad move, what do we think?
It's hard to say. It's all going to come down to how well he managed those tires throughout that run there. If he was really, keeping them smooth, laying off the inputs, because I mean, the biggest thing with lifting on this is going to do less damage to your tires as you're going through if you're lifting a lot more. So him having sat back for a little bit there in Calvin Ross, he might not have as bad of tires, but I guess it's going to come down if they go for another 20 plus laps green again. he might be in a little bit of trouble just because they wouldn't be able to have survived as long as having changed all 4.
Well, we're going to find out how this young man gets on. Come on, Calvin. Come on, Calvin. Hey, he's got my face on the car. We've got to, you know.
I get it. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Although I think Sizemore's going to probably get the lucky dog here. He'll probably have to go buy the pace car at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Which will put Ross without him in front of him, hopefully.
Yeah, it should just be Calvin Ross. I'm surprised Sizemore's not gone round already, to be honest. But we are under caution. Sizemore should get a wave around. Zachary Lewis up 12 places, biggest gainer on your screen currently at the moment. So, well done to him. We are just waiting to see if he's going to get thrown around. I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
Yeah, maybe they didn't pull him in.
Yeah, maybe on the next one, maybe.
Unless someone else was considered the lucky dog and
no, there he goes.
Oh, there he is, yeah.
So he has just been told he can go round. So Calvin Ross is your lead car currently. There he is, the number 20. Just took the right-hand side then for tyres by the looks of it, Calvin did.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a gamble when we doing, one-sided tires opposed to getting all 4 done, but with how it had been up until, this last kind of 20-plus laps, it's not surprising to why not take the gamble. You can get out front, and who knows, you might get, only 10 laps, and there's another caution, and then you can kind of judge where you need to go from there and how it's feeling.
Yeah. Right, well, here we go. Lights are off. What is Calvin Ross going to do is we're going into... There goes the Mr. Pace car. Barney's flag is up and ready. Ross is into the Rico zone. Whoa! Hold on. Back off.
That's a little bit of a problem up front there, and it looked like Strotter got right into the back of Lewis, and
oh, here he comes!
Yep,
Straight across the middle of the track. Ryan McClelland. Rowe.
Oh, and that sent Rowe all the way up, and he met Sean Britt's just not having a good day. He has been involved. I think that's now his 3rd caution he's been a part of, and I don't think any of them have been on him.
No. And Ryan McClelland, yeah, it was McClelland. Sorry. McClelland and Rowe come together. Time to find a drafting partner and go to the front, son. Yeah. Your boy is sitting in 16th place at the moment. We are back on live pictures. Craig Rowe looks like he might have survived that, though. If he's still out on track. But then again, saying that, he's just got in with Sean Britt. So, and Zachary Lewis and Calvin Ross. So Ross has decided that wasn't a good idea. Is
coming in for his other side?
Yeah, surely he's got to come in for the other side, isn't he?
I mean, why not? I guess it'll cost him, because now he's going to drop all the way outside of the top 10.
Okay, there's the right again. Oh, can't see if the left's going to go up here. There we go. So he's done all 4 this time. I would have thought he would have just changed the 2 that didn't get changed last time.
Yeah, because I mean, that's going to be... If he changed all 4, that would be 3 sets that he's now used, at least. So he might have 1 left as kind of a, hey, let's hope. But it basically dropped him all the way to the back now, so he's got a lot of work to do to get back himself back up front. So.
Oh, you wait till I see him. I don't know.
Maybe the photo wasn't the right one. It just didn't give him enough good luck. Yeah,
maybe.
You might need to send him a new one.
Yeah, but he can't. I don't know. I'll have to try and find one, and I clearly it didn't work. Shame. Shame. Come on, Calvin. There's hope in the boy just yet. So Spainhow is now up into 12th place. He's +3 on his grid spot compared to where he was last time. Anthony Radel up 12 with Zach Scari up 12 as well. Gregory Sherman is up 10. Dustin Hicks up 6 there. So flying. Oh no! Can we go back to the 24 car? That's the right. That looks like a Jeff Gordon paint, right? Paint style. Am I not looking at that right?
I think he's got the 19 crimes or whatever it is. Paint job. I think his actual car base paint job underneath that is the old kind of 24 Flames, the old DuPont that Jeff Gordon used to use way back when. But from what I can see, he's got the 19 crimes. I think that's called the wine. I think that was his paint job. It's hard to say. I can't see the sides of it right now. There we go. Yeah.
So what are you? All right. My paints don't seem to be reflecting what's on the broadcast at the moment.
Yeah. It looks like the 19 crimes. Yeah.
So there we go.
The 54 car looking good. I like the Pepto-Bismol car.
I do too. Yep.
It's very creative. It's different.
It's pink.
Not just it's pink. That too. Who doesn't love pink? I just like the drop, like the water kind of, or the Pepto-Bismol kind of like coming down it. It looks it's different. It's nice.
Yes, we know you got a soft spot for that car.
I mean, we all have our cars that we have a soft spot for. Mine just doesn't have. No one put my face on a car, so I have to pick something else.
Right. So Calvin Ross has just messaged me. I took no tires for the lap lead points. Now I have an extra set.
Oh.
So
okay.
There we go. And I got asked by Alexander Martin, who is obviously looks like he's out anyway. Something about his livery not matching up, but we are aware there could be some livery issues going on currently at the moment. I'm sure Dan's working frantically in the background to try and resolve this problem. So hopefully we will be able to keep you up to date with deliveries. Here we go, green flag again. Daniel Michael's already gone. Didn't wait. He's gone already. And we're open up. What do we got? 3 temps. Not a bad one this time.
Oh, and it looks like McQuiggan managed to kind of keep Christian Strader behind him, and now he's using Haley kind of to draft away from him, and it looks like it ends up costing a spot for Strader, as he had to slot back in behind Haley there.
So we have got 30 laps to the end, and if we run green all the way around, this is going to be done in about not long. Quick maths went out the window there in about 15 minutes actually, so there we go. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm going to go 15 minutes, I think. 15 to 20 minutes, says the producer in my ear roll. So who knows? Let's see how we get on. But do we think then we're going to go this full? Because we ran for quite a long while during that green stint. That are we looking that we may get there again?
I mean, if they keep it together, it's possible. I mean, it's all going to come down sort of to how they spread out throughout the track and who starts to get a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we've got about 30 laps left, 29 laps left here. So it's all going to come down to who's got the ability to push without causing any issues.
Nice. I like the way you put that. The ability to push without causing issues.
Controlled aggression. That's the term.
Oh, there we go. Kenton. Love it. Comes in and he even changed his tone then when he said aggression as well. Controlled aggression. So there we go. 28 laps remaining here at the moment. We've got Daniel Michael out front, Trevor Haley, Josh McGuigan, Sawyer Gara, Eddie Baker, Christian Strada, Noel Hanna, and Anthony Radel, with Brendan McLaughlin and Andrew Onquist controlling the top 10. Spainow's just outside for all you Spainow fans. Oh, steady there. For all you Spainow fans, he's just in the top 12. He's actually sitting currently in 12th place for Terry Spainow. There he is. You can just see him on the inside there, following Andrew Onquist through. So he's trying to move up a little bit more of a position. There is Terry. Car number 86.
Yeah, it looks like he's using Onquist as kind of his draft partner and hoping he's able to pull him through past Scar.
I'm sure he messaged me with a pronunciation of that, right? And I still can't actually remember. I'm sure Zach Scar, isn't it? Scary?
He'll tell us in Discord.
Oh, he will. He'll DM me. He'll be like, James, I'm sure I've told you this already. I'll be like, yes, Zach, you probably did, and I'm so sorry. You know, I completely done a doo-doo. So there we go. But
unfortunately, it looks like he might. Oh no, he was able to get a hold with somebody. It looked like for a minute there he was going to get kind of left out and not have any draft partner, and it was going to drop him. But he's doing well. He managed to get a hold of it, although now he's back outside with not really much to draft, and kind of floats in and out of those little draft pockets there. So he's doing all right.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he's got a draft, right? I think that's the main thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter if he's going to go and make a move past somebody. He almost needs to weigh up where the move can be taken, because he needs to get hold of the next draft in front of him. So, you know, it's like here you got Sawyer Gara on the outside, really hasn't got a draft. He's trying to basically push Christian Strada for the draft of Eddie Baker in front of him, and at the moment they're both trying to fight over it. And as you can see, they're trying to muscle over who's going to get it here and who's not going to get it. And at the moment, really, none of them are really getting it, because it's everybody behind them that's catching them up.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting, I guess, concept. So what it looks like is kind of happening is side drafting a little bit, and side drafting is great to a point. It can cause problems though, because it kind of slows you down. It's at the same time, like, it slows you, but it also slows the other car down as well. So you kind of almost end up pulling each other back at the same time. So you really don't want to do it too much unless you are on, have people behind you. But if you're outside and with no one kind of behind you or in front of you, and you end up side drafting, it's just going to slow multiple people down as they go 3 wide through there.
Yeah, Spainow running what looked like a little bit hot on Sean Britt. Britt didn't really go anywhere, and unfortunately for Spainow, he had to take evasive action, feathering the brakes there to make sure he didn't go and hit the wall. So poor old Terry Spainow has now dropped down to 16th place. Needs to get onto a back end of somebody. Needs to almost hook an anchor and grab their spoiler or something, because it just looks like he's entering into the corner a little bit too quick. Which is just with the brake.
And these corners, like, you almost have to start letting off earlier than you expect, especially as the tires start to wear down and you start losing grip. Then you kind of have to back up a little bit more and things like that. So reacting to how the track sort of changes as you're going is always a huge part when it comes to oval racing. So once he gets that kind of nailed down, it should be okay. But looks like he's kind of gotten on the back of somebody a little bit there, and is able to kind of hold on a little bit. But
yeah, he's got McLennan and Coleman. I think he's in that group in Spain at the moment. So hopefully for him, he'll be able to settle into that one and see how it goes. But yeah, Almquist here in 10th place. Up 9, Zach Scari behind him in 11th. No, behind him up 11, I should say. As we got 19 laps remaining here tonight from the Nashville Superspeedway. And, well, touch wood. I'm optimistic, Kenton. I'm optimistic.
Me as well, but I'm trying to think. Okay, so 19 to go. You could push it. It's all going to come down to people's fuel here, and if anyone's going to end up having to green flag pit if this keeps going this way, which I think will throw a very interesting wrinkle into the entire situation if they just keep going.
I think the situation's going to be, it's now managing your tyre drop-off, right? Because they're going to be hitting some at this point. So it's managing the tyre drop-off as well and how they cope with the sliding car that they're going to have behind them. And I think that's what they've got to be looking out for at the moment, is that car's going to start moving soon. But it's how it moves and how it's controlled is what's going to cause the problem.
Yeah, I mean, tire degradation is going to be your biggest thing. And there are ways you can kind of go about adjusting where a lot of the wear is happening. Obviously, if you can keep it fairly uniform between your right left or your right front and your right rear, it's ideal. But if you find you're getting a little tight, you can start working on allowing your front rear to use a little bit more of the drive. Whereas if you're using your right rear too much and you're starting to get a little loose, then you can kind of focus on trying to utilize your front right or your right front a little bit more. So there are ways to kind of adjust where the wear is happening and how much of it, but it's a little trickier on a track like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that. I got to be honest. I couldn't even tell you where my tyre wear was coming from. All I know is the 4 of them are going off. That's about as much as I can tell you there, because I'm not that expert in driving these cars. I'm taking the Camry round for my own worst thing, possibly, to be honest, because it didn't always go right. But how do you judge where it's coming from? How do you correct it? How do you change it? How do you deal with it? What's the rule of thumb? If you're sliding to the left, it's your left one, or is there a rule?
In reality, it comes down mostly to if it's loose or tight. If you're driving a lot looser, usually it means your rear end is going to start sliding around the corner a lot more. If you're tight, your front end starts pushing up a lot more, so you start going towards the wall a lot more. Like your front end will start pushing up towards the wall a lot more. So you have to judge it based on how the car is feeling. Obviously, force feedback in these cars is a little weird. I've noticed, but if you're able to kind of read how it feels and kind of how your car is reacting, that's the biggest thing. The only really ways to change it is how much your throttle you're using. The more throttle you use going around the corner, the more reliance on your front right to control the turn there's going to be, or your right front. If you're using a little bit less of it, it starts to pull it back a little more to your back, your rear right, and you're able to kind of feed off of that as best you can. Obviously, minimizing too much of one and not enough of the other is a skill. It's a very learned skill. It's something you kind of have to get used to, and it changes track to track on really what wears more. And it's just kind of reading your car and kind of judging it, because obviously things will change. Obviously there'll be more rubber laid down as the more laps you guys do and things like that, and knowing, okay, there's going to be, the apron gets a little more dusty, so obviously you don't want to touch that, and just kind of placing your car in the right spot, because not every time and on every track, as it looks like Sean Britt kind of rolled up along and tried to pull off the Ross Chastain.
Whoa. Chris and Baker nearly came together there. Yeah, it's getting more and more aggressive as the time's running down. We have got 10 laps remaining. I can also tell you the times are dropping off. Last time out for Daniel Michael, 32.23. Mind you, his best times are 30 dead. So they are losing time, and they're losing time every single lap at the moment. So for these guys, they've got to be careful now because their cars are losing grip, and they're losing grip with 10 to go. And it's whether or not anybody has got a splash and dash at the end, whether or not anybody is going to have any issues. Let's hope not as well. He is scared he is going to cause a wreck. This being his first year, he is trying to not be that guy. Get that seat time, son, says Terry Spainhour Senior. Yeah, it's a tough one when it's your first season in any league, to be fair, because as you say, you don't want to be that guy, but you know, oh, you can see it there. They're dropping off and they're sliding now. This could be a dangerous 9 laps.
It's definitely going to get interesting over these next 9 laps with, tire degradation coming down. Obviously, the cars are getting a little lighter, so that will help to alleviate some of that as they're burning off fuel. But it's going to get a little interesting going through this. And like we said, the banking being less aggressive than at places like Daytona or Michigan, it's not going to be helping as much either. So you are going to really have to learn and know how to kind of control your car going in and out of these corners.
I think with 8 to go, we're going to have a bit of a mission here. So Sean Britt all the way up. Brendan McLaughlin is the first one to bounce. He's into the pit. Sean Britt started in 18th after this yellow, and this run has got him all the way up, currently into 6th place there. So Sean doing a stellar job. Obviously, he was involved in some incidents, Kenton, as well, wasn't he? That wasn't always his fault, or at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's been involved in 3 cautions, and I don't think any of them were caused by him.
Yep. I believe you are correct. But the gap up front, as we go to 6 to go, Daniel Michael and Josh McGuigan, he can just pick up on them as we've got Noel Hanna here. There they are. Daniel Michael looks so strong now. I'm finding it tough to see past him, I've got to be honest. And, you know, wasn't my pick, obviously. You know, my pick is down in 13th place at the moment. There he is, car number 20, Calvin Ross, making his way past the 99 car, or attempting to as they come very, very close. Come on, guys, keep it clean. You got 5 to go. Calvin Ross trying to look like he's trying to make waves there. Is he going to be looking at pushing on that inside, though? That's going to be the interesting thing. But yeah, McGuigan and Michael still look at the gap from McGuigan now.
That's the thing. It can change really quick. These cars, they give off a pretty big drafting space behind them. So even Gara, as far back as he is, he's still going to be picking up some of that draft, as it looks like Eddie Baker coming in, and he might be running pretty low on fuel. And I think that was Coleman behind him also coming in. And again, it could have been easily for McQuiggan. It might have been just him playing it smart and going, okay, well, we're having these longer runs now. Maybe I should focus on saving some fuel and trying to conserve as much as I can so I can really push near the end. And it kind of looks like what he's been doing. He's right on Daniel Michael's tail now. Like he can almost reach out and touch him, and it's going to get a little interesting. And McQuiggan seems he's got the inside line now too. Yeah, McQuiggan's with that inside line. This is going to get really interesting as he
what?
And I think,
what?
I don't know what happened there. That looked a little interesting. Yeah, it looks like Daniel Michael just kind of came down. I don't know what happened for sure.
Can we get a cockpit view of Daniel Michael on that one? And I want to go a little bit further back if we're able to, please, as well, because that was just... Can we go in the cockpit? Go back to the beginning of the replay and see if we go into the cockpit of Michael. No. Didn't really see. I need that prolonged run.
Yeah, it's hard to see what his
angle was.
He just kind of dropped right down there, and
Yeah, it was tough to see, but we need to see what that angle is off that wheel. Because, so they started. We'll go into the cockpit if we can now with Daniel Michael, please. So that's the rubbing. Right. Now on the left there is McGuigan.
Yeah, he was definitely pulling or turning left. And it's hard to say if he thought that maybe he was right beside him, or
You could see him out the left side, can't we?
yeah, it looked like you could.
Yeah,
they kind of
they rubbing, weren't they?
yeah, the rubbin's racing.
And then this isn't, no.
Yeah,
He's ahead of him. You can see him.
Yeah, you could definitely see him on there, and that looks like it jacked up his tire on McQuiggan there on the left front, and like yeah, he's got no tire movement at all on his left front.
Yeah, he's done.
Until about there. Yeah, he's probably that's going to end pretty much his day there. Although I think they actually have a quick fix, so he might be able to get out in time there.
Timothy
but he's
in YouTube has just put he dumped him.
yeah, it definitely doesn't look good.
No, and I'm wondering what the attitude of this man is going to be coming out of the pits here. Because, well, I'm not going to lie, there would be a different attitude running around in that car than there is probably in my head than there is in his. I think the thing is they come bouncing, didn't they? They were door rubbing each other, we saw that. But now McQuiggan's all the way down the order in 17th. Now
yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You want to give the benefit of the doubt there, but watching that's rough.
Yeah. You want to sit here, we're trying to be impartial as we possibly can, and obviously we know that is our job. We are here to do our job, and we do our job, and we do it well, but you can't sometimes deny what we're looking at this moment in time, and it did look, they were together, they coming together, they were rubbing all the way through the last lap before this happened. And then it looked like Michael just came straight down and straight into the back. And to me, that's what it looked like. And you can't really argue with what we're staring at. And I think that's the problem. But we are going to be GWC, green right checker, 3 laps to go. So let's see how we get on here, but yeah,
the only thing I could really think is maybe his spotter said you're clear and he wasn't quite clear, so he dropped down and just unfortunately tagged him, but it won't look good. No. There will probably be a call to the stewards on that one.
I think they most possibly will be on there. There's no way around it. He dumped him. You're right. Rubbing racing, but the 92 didn't reckon. That's the problem we've got. Rubbing is racing. They were rubbing. They were leaning on each other consistently through that lap, right? And they were. And we saw it, and everybody else could see it. The ending, you can't rub. You can't rub that. And that is yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, as you say, maybe down in my ear, I just thought maybe he got frustrated. Maybe he did, but
yeah, it's going to be something they're going to have to talk about.
Yeah,
at
definitely.
The very least.
The saying goes, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. If that's the way it's got to be done, then I don't agree with that one. But let's have a look and see how it goes. Go into the Geico restart zone now. We've got Zachary Lewis, Soragara up front. Are we going to see a Pepto Pink win here tonight, or are we not? Calvin Ross has come out already. I'm not quite sure why you would want to be jumping out that early, but here we go now. Soyagara is in, battling away in 3rd place. Oh, Hicks is going to take the lead.
What a run out of Hicks there. He came out of that first turn 2 and just took off. He had a fantastic flyer, although it looks like might be an issue.
Cars in the wall.
I don't know if that's going to cause a caution. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, his
final lap. It's the final. He's in the middle of the track.
His
Can we go to the lead? Yeah, Dustin Hicks, final lap of the race. Here we go. Oh,
There goes
Michael
Sean Britt, unfortunately.
Is this going to make every... Oh, there's a big one in the back. Is the yellow's going to come out, or are we going to run?
I think yeah, they're just going to go.
Yeah, gotta go. You gotta go. Final lap. Dustin Hicks is going to come across the line. He's going to take the victory. Can we go back? Something's not tasting right. Something is not tasting right. I eat spicy crisps, right? But there is no way that something is not tasting right for me. Can we go back to where Sean Britt crashed, please? There we go. It's Hicks, Michael, Hannah. No, that's Sawyer Gara. I want to go to Sean Britt, please. But we're not on Britt.
Yeah, it looks like Gara slammed his front tire and that just messed everything up.
I want to just watch this one.
Yeah, and Daniel Michael gets into the back, tried to almost bump draft a little bit, but that looked like it caused kind of his tire, caused him to spin out there.
Definitely.
Oh, and McQuiggan gets taken out again anyway.
Yeah.
Rough day for McQuiggan. He ends up on the infield again.
Yeah, there's another one there. McQuiggan in car number 16. And whoa, Ryan McLennan shooting in as well, just for good health. At the end of the race, you can't, no need, they might as well come around and finish off, but it is. Let's have a look at the final results here. What came to be a very chaotic ending, gotta be honest. A lot going on, but Noel Hannah, Dustin Hicks was your man in first place. The results.
He had a fantastic run out of turn 2 there. Ooh.
Oh yeah, he carried, didn't he? He carried well. He carried a lot there. So there we go. Dustin Hicks is your man in first place with Daniel Michael in second. I'm sure there was going to be an inquiry. I've got to be honest. Noel Hannah in third, Trevor Haley fourth, Andrew Omquist fifth, Zach Scari sixth, Christian Strider seventh, Armour Brusso eighth, Brendan McLaughlin ninth, Gregory Sherman 10th, Anthony Radel in 11th, Ryan McLennan 12th, Zachary Lewis 13th, Sean Britt 14th, Josh McGuigan 15th, Calvin Ross, I must going to go and change my livery, is all the way down in 16th place. Clearly my face did not do the job. Terry Spainhour down in 17th, one lap down, Eddie Baker, Craig Rose, Sawyer Gara, Kevin Coleman, Rod Sizemore, and Alexander Martin was obviously the last man in the field currently at the moment. Now we do have Noel Hannah into the waiting room. We can have a chat with Noel if this one. So let's pull Noel Hannah into the booth. Good evening, Mr. Hannah, sir. How are you?
Oh, man. I don't even know after that. Jesus.
Tough one.
Tonight. No, not tough, but not the way I wanted to make my way up to P3, I don't think. A little scrappy tonight. That's all.
Yeah, there was. It was a little scrappy. There was a few incidents. There was a few things that possibly could have been avoided, do we think? Or what do we reckon? Just the nature of the circuit?
I mean, partially. Man, I don't think I made Nashville last season, so this was kind of my first race there, and it was. I thought it was going to be a tires race, and on 2 occasions it was. I was able to make up some spots there on just tire saving and being smart with them. But man, those first 10, 20 laps on fresh tires, that was rough. People were really getting after it.
Were they though? Do you think being early, because we had the early cautions, didn't we? We had the 4 cautions pretty much with inside lap 20, and then we went for a long run. And then we come up to the stage end on 37, and then we went again for another long run. You know, is it the way of the long run or the short run? What do you prefer doing? Because some people like saying I like going for a long run. Others like saying I just like having a break every 10 laps. You know, what do you feel about it all?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a long run guy every time. That's the thing. So this season, from what you guys have seen, I've always been a longer run guy, real tire whisperer kind of situation, and I said, okay, this season I want to go in a little more aggressive on fresh tires because I lose spots all day long on fresh tires, and I end up making them up, but it's a net negative usually. So that's how this season started. And so we dialed that back the last couple of races. Said, okay, this isn't working out. Let's come back and play to the strengths. And we really haven't had a race that panned out for longer runs. So this one, I'm glad we got 2 in there. I wish they were a bit longer. I wish that last one, that last caution, I was set up. I had the fuel to make it. I had the tires to maybe catch. I think it was Sawyer who also had enough to make it. I had the tires to make it there, but yeah, we had a caution anyway, so didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, it was an absolute tough one now, not going to lie, but well done for completing the race and finishing in 3rd place there. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, I get to say it this time. Hey, shout out to Breakfast Club. It's my boys, it's my group. Fun times, but hey, thanks for you guys. I know we kind of got to you pretty last minute to do some broadcasting at the start of this season, and you guys came to us and said, hey, we haven't, as far as I know, you guys hadn't done too many ovals or NASCAR, and knocking it out, man. Don't even worry about it. We love you, so appreciate you guys.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you very much for your kind words there, Noel. It means a lot to us up here in the booth as well, so much appreciated. And we look forward to seeing you. Don't forget, we've got a break next week, Noel, so Valentine's Day.
Sir, one off, and then going to Charlotte Oval and Sonoma.
Yes, we are, for the 2nd road circuit of the season. So, Noel, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to having a chat with you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, sir. Same here.
Take care, man.
You too.
Right. Now, we've got somebody in the waiting room who hasn't changed their name to their real name. So I'm going to have to ask him who he is at this moment in time when he comes into the booth as well, being that I've got a Discord name and not a real name. So if, Mr. Night Slider, you wouldn't mind informing me who you are, that would be much appreciated.
I'm Dustin Hicks.
Dustin Hicks. Thank you very much, Dustin. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Not bad, mate. Do you know, we've watched a really interesting race there, Dustin. Not the fact that you got an absolute barnstorming run over that last lap period and overtook 2 cars, which was absolutely stellar. But just the way the race run, it wasn't how I put it in food terms, because a lot of my stuff is food. I'm probably hungry at this point as well, I've got to be honest. But it wasn't like baking a conventional cake. There were bits of going on, wasn't there? We had 4 cautions, then we had a run, then we had another caution. It was a bit of everything this evening.
Yeah, we had a rough start at the beginning of the race, and I got into a few incidents. And the longer I ran, the more comfortable I felt with the car. This is my first time running this track, so I really wasn't familiar with everything going on.
But you did it. You did a stellar job in the Ford, and you actually expressed it. Did you sit there? Was it a Carl Trickle moment where you're going round everybody asking yourself, well, hold on a minute, why am I going so fast here and everybody else is going so slow? Because you shot round them. You got a wicked run out of that last, what was it, turn 2, I think it was, on the second to last lap?
Yeah, I think it was turn 2. But yeah, I was surprised. I stopped and only took 2 tires, and I expected the guys to take 4 just to blow by me. So yeah, I was kind of expected when I got around first and second. I was pretty surprised when I got around and was able to hold everybody off.
Oh, mate, you flew. Like, literally, Kenton was up in the booth and he was just like, oh, what a run. You literally stormed it through, and it was absolutely unbelievable. But look, if I'm not mistaken, that's your first win of the season, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, congratulations. Go away, ching the beers, enjoy yourself, because that was an absolute stellar job, and you thoroughly deserved that as well. The way that race was run was absolutely incredible, Dustin. So, be proud, be loud, let everybody know that you're a race winner this season as well. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you leave the booth this evening?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Trevor and Craig. They really taught me a lot about this track right before the race started. So yeah, I had to give a big shout out to them.
To who, sorry?
Trevor and Craig.
Okie dokie. So there we go. Well, thank you so much. Don't forget, we have got a week off, next week.
All right, thank you.
Valentine's Day. So, all of us husbands and boyfriends who like sleeping on the sofa, like sleeping in the bed and not on the sofa, better take our missus out, don't you think, Dustin?
Yeah, I forgot that was coming up, so I'm glad you reminded me.
Well, you better get a card and, or whatever else you got, you know what I mean? But thank you so much, Dustin, for joining me. Congratulations on your maiden victory, bud. You thoroughly deserve that win as well. So, and I'll look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Well, there you go. That was all good. Kenton, wasn't it? You know, they was fairly chilled out. No, Hannah was all right. Dustin was sounded happy and completely forgot about Valentine's Day, which is, you know, not a problem. You might want to, you know, probably try and remember though, Dustin, if I'm not being rude, because you don't want to be sleeping on the sofa there, big boy. But you know, at the end of the day, they did an absolute stellar job here tonight, as they always do.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race, and I mean, like we said, Dustin kind of came out of nowhere and had a flyer of a run coming out of turn 2 there, and was able to hold on to it and get himself the nice win.
He definitely did, and well done to Dustin. Maiden victory as well. He's done it at Nashville. He did it with what could only be as an absolute run out of a corner. As I say, it did remind me of a Days of Thunder moment with Carl Trickle, just like, you know, the crew chief's telling him to slow down because he thinks he's going faster, and he ain't. He's going faster than everybody else, and they're just slowing down. And that was what it was for Dustin Hicks, and he did an absolute stellar job there as well. So absolutely flying. So there we go, guys. It's time now to finish off this broadcast. Thank you to everybody that's joined me. Calvin Ross, your face didn't put enough fuel in the car. Bit harsh. You know what I mean? That was a little bit tough, wasn't it, Kenton? You know, it wasn't that harsh to him. You know.
That was a little spicy, but all right.
yeah, no need. You know, fair play to you. Schedules on the screen. You can see we are at Charlotte Oval in 2 weeks' time on the 21st. Then second course of the season at Sonoma. Then we go March 7th to North Wilkesboro, Indianapolis after that as well. And then we finish off in Bristol. So there we go. Calvin, I'd like to point out that's your responsibility, not my face, unfortunately. But I think that is going to round out tonight's broadcast, guys. As always, it's been an absolute amazing race here as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Turn on the bells for notifications because that would be absolutely amazing. But I think for myself, Kenton Sportak, and Dan Peoples, you all take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.